You cannot afford to miss a single moment of the next hour. Get ready to have your ideas about sexuality, love, and relationships blown wide open. It's time to get educated, entertained, and enlightened, as well as sexually empowered. You have now tuned into the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show. Now, here's your host, Tanya Diamond.
Hello, everybody. We're back, and I believe this show is airing on New Year's Eve. So, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
You know what? This is a poignant day for me.
It is?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Well, all these holiday things don't really do a whole lot for me as a rule. My family kind of raised me with the no obligation clause, meaning you don't have to be home for the holidays or be here for whatever. And
interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So I'd go skiing most of the time and then see them the week after or the week before or something like that. And so that was kind of nice. So I'm not really wrapped up in all of it. Now, I will say, though, that New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's a reflection. I get really sappy on New Year's Eve.
You get sappy on New Year's Eve? All that not paying attention to the holiday catches up to you. And all of a sudden you realize we're about to turn the clock.
Into a new year.
The old year is going to sleep or dying, and the new year is beginning.
Right. And I call people up and I'm like, oh, hey, I just wanted to tell you I love you, man. And people are like, oh my God, it must be your New Year's Eve. Tanya's calling.
My annual call from
I know,
Tanya.
yeah. And I call, I just have a dog. I just love you, man. I just want to tell you how important you are to me. I know. It's really
so important to me that you're in my life.
I know, yeah. So it's really funny. So I want to tell all of you right now, all of you out there listening, I love you, man. I'm just
you people are awesome.
You people are awesome. And I'm just so incredibly happy that you're out there listening. And, there is nothing. You've got to know how important it is when you email us or call us and tell us the amazing changes that are happening in your lives or happening just because you listen to us.
Yeah.
Do you understand that that's what drives us?
That creates, it's a feeling in my heart. It's a feeling in my mind. I feel like the mission is having an effect. I feel valued.
Yeah. I feel loved
purpose.
and valued. Yeah. When I get those emails and those phone calls and you're saying, wow, I so look forward to hearing you guys, and I've learned so much, and I've already made these changes, and I just swell. I get tears in my eyes every time, and so it is a labor of love for sure.
Absolutely.
We do this because we care. Jeez, can I get any sappier? It's like,
because you care?
Because I care. It's like some Hallmark moment or something.
Because you care.
Whatever.
Let me shift that. I do this because I really get jacked. Being able to share this information with people, and then when I find out that someone's learning, someone's enjoying it, it's helping their day, it's helping their life, their relationship, or helping them anticipate a future relationship. I love that. I received an email, and I am so excited to be making a difference with something that I'm passionate about. Something that I'm so passionate about that is having such an impact. That also, to the other side of that, sexual ignorance also has a profound impact. So not only are we having an effect on the sexual ignorance, which is something that grows out from everybody's positive experience and intimacy, but we're educating
Sexual
people.
Ignorance grows out of positive what?
Let me clarify.
Yeah, what are you saying there?
When we help someone learn something, and it changes the equation, it changes the balance of the impact of sexual ignorance in the world.
Okay, yeah.
When someone starts having better connection, better relationship, better intimacy, better sex, the impact on sexual ignorance is exponential. Even if they don't teach it to anyone else, just the quality of their life is improving so much that they begin to impact other people's lives in a positive way.
We are the ripple in the pond, and any change that we make, whether positive or negative, impacts and influences things around us.
Right.
And we are compelled to create a change. Now I can't, I'm a catalyst. I mean, you're
an instigator. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm an instigator, a catalyst. I'm tantric, means I'm not all sitting around in vapid love space, nicey. Sometimes change is radical, and that's okay. Now, I'm getting ready here. So, New Year's Eve, I take inventory of the year. I sit and look at what things I've accomplished over the year. I look at the things where I might have wanted to do something differently, places where I would have made different decisions, perhaps.
Self-review, yeah.
Self-review. And I'm trying to take my sweater off and seeing how that's working.
They actually can't see that.
I know they can't. They can hear me struggling, and they wonder, what am I? Okay, all right, sweater's off. So self-review, and then looking towards where I can even show up better next year.
Okay.
So if these are my weak points, here, and here are some places that I really should have followed through better, or I really should have done something in better integrity. Okay. It always comes down to that. To me, it's always about how am I living in integrity. Success is the ability to lay on my pillow on my head on my pillow at night,
right,
with my integrity intact.
Okay.
All right. So where is it that my integrity could have even been firmer or more in alignment? Okay. And so I look back at those things, and usually they'll stand out. And luckily anymore, there's not that many. It used to be, it was like, I keep track of all that
differently. I wish I hadn't done that.
Yeah.
I tried to forget that.
Right, exactly. So I'm happy to say there aren't that many, but they're definitely, I still want to review that. And we have, we're going to be launching modern Tantra, new websites. I'm looking to take applications now for next year's Inner Circle program.
Yes.
I tell you, I am so amazed and so happy with all of the progress that my Inner Circle members did.
They've done amazing things this year.
And I can't even tell you, it's like, it's not just all the amazing accomplishments, setting the goals that we've set and going through the changes, but the revelations that they've all come to actually make me cry. And it's not just because it's New Year's Eve.
Right.
But just make me cry, because when I hear somebody saying that, they finally get it, they finally see people differently, or they finally have let go of an issue they've had their whole life. Yeah. And they're walking in freedom from that. Or one of my guys whose relationship with his father has healed.
Right.
And it's just changed. You can hear it in their voices.
Well, and to bring multiple sides to that for our listeners, people who've had profound changes in their relationships with family, this person with their father, or their ability to realize how they saw women previously, right, and how that sold themselves short. Right. And some of your Inner Circle people have experienced changes in their business. Right. That have, where last year a person was struggling to see his vision, his mission even be accepted, someone to hear him. Yep. Now he's finding himself having invitations. We want to know about your product. We have a project here that needs your technology. Asia,
Africa, in fact, all over the world.
Previously, he was just trying to get into the door for someone to listen to him, and you said, you need to see this as a global vision, a global mission, and realize that people need what you have globally. And in less than a year, he's been experiencing those meetings, those invitations, those people who say, tell me more about that. Right. We need that. Yep.
We're talking Tantra for Business. In my Inner Circle program, I address all aspects of my students, my clients' life. We go through the 5 levels of awareness, 5 levels to life mastery. And, awareness of how you interact in the world. Tantra of self, then, about yourself. Where are you empty? How do you fill your own cup? Where are you lacking? Right. Tantra of relations, how you affect your relationships, how relationships affect you. Tantra of business, what do you do in your finances and your business, and how to propel yourself into your dream state of where you want to be. Tantra for Life Mastery. One of my best friends is at recently to Tony Robbins. I think it's called something of Destiny. Really huge thing. And my friend calls me up and goes, "Oh my God, Tanya," he says, "I know you've never done a Tony Robbins. I know you love Tony Robbins." And he said, "I know you've never taken his stuff, but do you know that you guys almost use the same words in some instances?"
Wow.
Like a woman was telling Tony that she wanted to find balance in her life, and he just took her apart. Like I would say, so what I would say is balance. Are you kidding me? That's like a flat line, and the only time you're flat line is when you're dead. And apparently he used the word flatline,
right,
and talked about how, no, you want to live authentically and feel emotions, and that's not some balanced flat point in life. And so my friend was just cracking up. He said, "Oh my God, if you could just see this, because that's why people keep telling you, oh, you've taken Tony Robbins."
Sure.
And you're like, no. No. I've taken other things, and I love Tony Robbins, and in fact, I'm aspiring to be the woman Tony Robbins of the universe. He is definitely an inspiration to me about where I'm going with my global vision.
Nice.
So the Inner Circle program is a year-long program that's really about, it's a coaching program that really takes apart your life and puts it back together in a way that all aspects work, because most of us are out of balance. Most of us are spending time here and there. And then the main thing, and I mean, I address things like exercise, because I used to be a personal trainer for a really long time. In fact, one of my clients, he's always been struggling with this body fat around his middle. And he works out and he does all that. And I'm like, oh, it's like, Ron, all you need to do is, this, and this. And he implemented it, and boom, he says 6 weeks later, it's like, wow, all these years. And he says, I'm working out 2/3 less than I was.
Now everybody wants to know what those
X,
things
Y,
were.
and Z were. I know. It's like,
we're going to have
God,
to write an article on that.
And, how to eat for more potency and vigor.
What you eat or what not to eat.
Right, and how to work out better, what to do with your clutter in your life, how to self-love.
Right.
So all of this, and, and I teach the sexual aspects as well, but once again, there's a certain progression to life mastery. And if each level isn't taken care of, then you can't get there.
No.
You can't just start at the top and think everything's going to fall into place. You have to build your foundation.
It could even actually be dangerous.
Well, yeah, and you have to build your foundation. So we will be next year teaching these 5. There's actually 7 levels. We don't talk about the other 2 for a while, because that's after you've hit life mastery.
Right.
There's the Tantra of Empowerment and the Tantra of Leadership. And those are where you want to jump on board and be part of the global change.
Right. Can I say on air here that Tantra could be dangerous?
In what aspect?
Well, if as guys, as Americans, as an American, it's easy to say, "Oh, I want to learn to be a master lover." Take a couple of key techniques about moving energy or becoming really potent in certain areas, and I can learn some really incredible, almost magical things. And if I use that in the wrong way, or if I haven't done the work to be able to carry that properly, and people are like, "What do you mean carry that properly?" If I don't know how to run that level of energy, then I can actually do more harm than good. Now, I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm saying rise up to the challenge.
Yeah.
Rise up to the challenge to live to your potential as a human being, and realize, if I improve my sex abilities, but I don't do something about my business abilities, then I'm going to be in conflict, and I'm emotionally going to be imbalanced or in crisis.
Well, what happens is that people learn a few techniques, and they don't realize that, of course, in Tantra, it's a very systematic approach to living. The masters don't teach you sex techniques at the beginning.
Right.
Because you can learn some techniques, and they're just going to be techniques. But the real aspect that makes Tantra powerful is the energetics. The completely understanding how to move energy in your body and other people's bodies and the world around you.
Right.
That stuff you don't learn from just a few breaths and a technique. Those are just techniques. And if you might be out there saying, "I've read these Tantra books and I've tried these techniques, and yeah, they're okay." And that's because you're missing all the lower steps, the foundation. If you don't have the foundation,
Right.
You don't have anything. You just have a bunch of techniques.
Right.
So the program we've developed with the 5 levels to Tantra mastery, Tantra life mastery, it has the sex included in it in level 2 and 3, which are self and relations.
Mm-hmm.
And we're making that available next year. We'll have it workshops and for home study.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you the thing about a workshop that's really important. And that's when I teach my couples workshops, people show up and some people are really shy because they're thinking, I don't want to really reveal myself to other people. And then later they say, oh my God, thank God I took this in a group. Because listening to the other people talk about things and showing up and their struggles made me see things in a way I've never seen it before, and I could identify with, or I thought, oh, wow, look, all men are feeling that way. Look, all the women feel that way. It's not just me.
Right.
So I would encourage people to definitely do workshops when you can to get in the energy of it, because else it feels very different when you're in the experience with people than when you're doing something at home. But level 1 and 2, so level 1 is Tantra of awareness. And level 2 is Tantra of self. Those we're going to be providing a back-to-back course of. So you'll be able to take one is a 1 day and one is a 2 day. So you'll be able to come to 3 days.
So I get the intro foundational work and then I get to jump into the next level.
Right. Because we're not going to let people jump at levels, just take random levels. You will need to come up from the bottom.
Right.
And when you take a level, you'll go home with a workbook.
Okay.
And and you'll finish the material in the workbook if you want to go to the next level, because you'll actually get a call from one of our coaches reviewing what you've done.
Right.
Because we are
accountability.
That's right. We are very serious. We're not just going to give you a workshop and then turn you loose. We actually want you to implement the progress and to create the change. We're interested in actually creating change, not just taking people's money and saying, "Yeah, great, go away."
Right.
We want change. So we will be implementing this next year, just coming up here real soon, and very, very excited about it. I'm just so looking forward to it, along with our membership site that we'll be launching next year. And you'll be, if you've come to a workshop of ours and you have your workbook, you'll actually have a free membership to the membership site, where you'll be on your level forum, the forum of your level, wherever you are.
Right.
To talk with other people around the world that are doing it as well, get insight and all that. So that's
nice.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
Big stuff, big stuff coming. And having a workbook to go home. I've taken a lot of workshops. I'm sure you have too. And you're all jazzed up and you've got all this information, and then all of a sudden you go home. Right.
And even if they have a great book that you can pick up and bring home with you, it doesn't outline, bullet point the most important aspects to remind you what you wanted to do when you got home.
Right. And take you through 30, 60, 90 days of practices so that you can stay firm with what's going on and get ready for the next level.
At the end of every workshop I've ever taken, I've always said to myself, gosh, I wish they had a workbook just about this piece. And really help me get the most out of what I just experienced.
And then.
But wait.
There's more. But wait, there's more, just when you thought. Because we also are very excited to launch our IT parties.
Oh.
Think the fall of next year. We're hoping for the first big IT party. And it is really important, because everybody wants it.
Everybody wants it.
We all want to feel it. It. We need it.
We need it.
We want to be like it. Or we want to know somebody with it.
And we can tell when somebody has it.
It, for sure. Because I have it tattooed actually on my arm. And
really?
You know that, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah, check it out. That's what that is right there.
Oh, okay.
It says it. Right? Because this is an idea that we came up with about a year ago. Due to the fact that most of the time when you're somebody with it, you have nowhere to play and jump around with other people that have it. Now, what we're talking about is the ability to live large. All right? The ability to be living out loud. The ability to really bring it.
Living in authenticity.
That's right. And not being afraid of telling people how great things are. Like if you're a person that when people say, how you doing? You go, I am fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
I am amazing. I am sexy. I am doing so great. It hurts. Got to wear shades. If you're one of those people, you probably have it, right?
Right.
And we want to know about that. But there'll be a special website. We'll be wandering around with cards that just say it and a website, right? If you're one of those people that gets one of those cards and goes to the website and sign up, you're going to be really lucky.
Are we just giving those cards to everyone?
No, you got to have a sense of knowing about it.
Mm.
We either see that you've got it or that you know about it and want it. Mm. But either way...
Or you know people who have it and we'll ask you to pass it on to them.
That's right, yeah. Sorry, you don't have
awkward.
it, but here, give it to them. But you'll know what we're talking about. And these are going to be huge parties that not only have some education value to them, but basically allow you to interact with a bunch of other people that have it.
How often, if you're a person who feels like you have it or on your way to it, how often have you said, I just wish I could find other people at this level?
Right, exactly.
Or how am I ever going to find a girlfriend or a mate?
Right.
That, I've searched the world over. I was talking to a friend last night, and, he's had this one girlfriend years back, and it's like, I have never met another woman who had it like that, like she had.
Right.
And I don't know that I've dated enough women that I don't know that I'll ever find it again.
Right.
And I said, look, we need to work on this.
Yeah, come to an it party. So you might be somebody that loves your relationship, loves your life, loves your family, and you're too afraid to actually tell other people that because everybody's wandering around in such despair and such.
Oh,
You can't say, I have a great sex life. I love my man. My man is awesome. I love my kids.
That's kind of awkward
my life.
at Thanksgiving, though.
All of it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things that we're taught to not, quote unquote, brag.
Right. To be able to actually tell your friends or your family that you're having a great experience. Not just to brag, but because you're feeling so good. It's contagious to feel good. It's contagious to feel bad.
Right.
Spread that.
People with it want to feel, not the bad part.
No, spread the good part. The second, sorry. To
spread it, the good it.
To spread the good feelings, the good experiences, so more people, even just by being around you, can find ways of being happier, being more fulfilled.
Could you imagine being in a room with 500 or more people that would not be at all taken aback by you telling them how amazing your life is?
Do I get to be up on the stage?
Yeah, and them jumping around going, yeah, my life is awesome too.
Nice.
Whether or not you've taken Tony Robbins or The Millionaire Mind or Landmark or any, whatever, right? You guys do not have a place to come and hang out
with other people who have learned to communicate with authenticity, who are striving and creating their ideal life, basically feeling fulfilled and awesome.
Right. And talk about networking. Can you imagine networking with a group of people that powerful?
Yes, I can.
Being in a room with that powerful where we could get some people up on stage that are looking for one other thing to round out their life. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, everybody, I'm looking for a joint venture partner in my whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And you got a room full of people that are action-oriented people.
Right.
A room full of people that understand that relationships make business, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm. And we're not just talking about, because I've been to really high-intensity business networking groups and experiences.
This isn't just business. This is life networking. This is about
life integrity.
Right.
This is about life networking so that, I think many religious cultures only do business within their own culture because they want to know that philosophically, emotionally, spiritually, people are in alignment with a level of trust and a level of automatic assumptions of authenticity.
You know what we're really talking about?
What are we really talking about?
Community.
Oh.
A community of people that are not afraid to live to their fullest human potential.
I like this.
These are the people I want to be friends with.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are out there.
You're just creating your own playground.
That's it, my own playground.
You're creating your own playground.
My own playground with people to play with that have it. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about. I want my daughter to live in a world where people are healing, healthy, empowered, and not living such small, scared lives. Mm-hmm. This is really what drives me.
Yeah, you're creating a world for your daughter.
You know, my daughter.
Everyone's child.
Maybe, yeah. You're pseudo not having a.
Right. I'm not having children because I, from a very young age, decided that the world was a scary place, and I didn't know that I could handle bringing a child into a world that I couldn't control and create positive experience.
And so what I decided,
person.
I felt the same way, and then at 42 and I had a child, I realized, well, then I just need to go change it.
And I think,
so here we are with
here we are. We've met each other.
Global healing happening at this level. Modern Tantra is about global healing. Now I got a question from somebody that said they've, studied Tantra and they've studied this and they said, what is modern Tantra?
Someone asked you that?
Yes, I just got an email on Facebook from them.
Really?
Yeah, because they saw modern Tantra and
Excellent.
they wanted to know, what does that mean? What that means is that I have been classically tantric trained, meaning that I've been passed down a lineage of ancient Tantra. And I've also been Neo-Tantra trained. And Neo-Tantra are the people that have taken the tantric and Taoist sexual techniques and made them available for Westerners.
Right.
And then there's just the flat out people using Tantra for sex work and erotic massage and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
but that's just they've taken the techniques and then chosen to kind of sort of sell it.
That's not Tantra, right? And so there's all these different there's all this like confusion around Tantra and what does it really mean? Well, modern Tantra is the path, the modern practice that I've created for today's world. Now, most of us are never going to learn classical Tantra, meaning we're not going to sit and do an initiation that takes 196 days where we're sitting repeating 196 mantras, which is a chant, all day long for 196 days just to find out if you're even serious about doing any of this.
Right. We don't think you're committed. So for the next 196 days,
exactly.
Here's your assignment.
That's right. So most people are just not going to do that. We have a different world now than we did then. A very different world.
Yeah.
We need a spiritual practice. We need a philosophy that works across religions, across genders, across politics, across all of these things.
Yes.
Right?
And that
international boundaries.
And that has a profoundly positive impact on personal, spiritual, business, social communication.
Right. So modern Tantra is a path, a practice that I've created, that my team is all about, that we are bringing to the world. And the book that I have coming out.
Yes.
Any day now. Any day now, my book is coming out. The ABCs of Modern Tantra, which if you'd heard that before, you'd say, wait, did that title change? Yes, it did.
Yes, we changed the title. Yep. ABCs of Modern
ABCs of Modern Tantra coming out is just a flavor taste of what it is we're talking about, how to live a tantric lifestyle, how to achieve life mastery in today's life, how to have a foundation of being that enhances you. And like I said, it's not about you can have whatever religion you have now. You can be whatever gender, follow whatever politics, socioeconomic, doesn't matter, international boundaries. It's created for people.
Right.
For people. And it's created in a way that will allow anybody to achieve life mastery if they follow the levels and the steps of learning. And it has taken the best of Tantra and the best of the ability to synergize, spirituality into today's life and just because we need sexual, spiritual lives. We need a full body lives.
Absolutely.
We can't just live in these compartments. We're all trying to live in these compartments, like live from our head, live from our heart, live from our crotch. Very few people are integrated.
Right.
And that is the goal of modern Tantra, is to help integrate people so we can help global change. I know it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I completely know it's going to happen. So we do want to talk about somebody, don't we? Do we have a sponsor we want to talk about?
Well, we have a sponsor, but before we get into the sponsor, we sort of segued from, life mastery, modern Tantra, and so, we need to talk a little bit, warm into
our sponsor?
Into our sponsor.
Well, the cool thing is, is that there are people out there that believe in what we're doing.
Yes.
And that provide things that you need.
Yes.
And by sponsoring, and by the way, if you're out there and you are like, we love you guys rock, we love Tanja and Joshua and all the stuff you're bringing, and you have an international online business that you would like the world to hear about, and you would like us to talk about, and that means you might want to be a sponsor of this radio show as well. You just need to drop us an email, and we will hook you up on how to make that possible. And you, too, could have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of international people listening to us talk about you, like we're about to talk about AdamandEve.com. That's right. Let's say that again.
AdamandEve.com.
All right. We love those people. That is an adult toy store, international online toy store that has amazing things to spice up your life. So now Christmas is over.
Christmas is over.
But the new year is
just
coming.
Beginning.
That's right.
And nothing starts a new year better than some new toys.
That's right. New way to do things. A little inspiration. So how about it? Maybe you're looking to add some spice or interest.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, into the bedroom and your love life. And if so, and you are feeling, I don't even think you have to feel adventurous. You might feel adventurous, or you might feel...
Why do these toys have to be adventurous?
They don't.
Why can't they just be fun?
Fun, yeah. So you can be fun or adventurous.
Yes.
Or spicy.
Yes.
Or a lot of other things.
But include AdamandEve.com.
In that equation.
Go shopping.
Right. Now, you can shop by yourself or together.
Yes.
And they have an amazing offer.
You know what's fun about shopping together at AdamandEve.com?
What's that?
You get to say, honey, do you like that? Do you like that? Let's say, oh, wow.
Let's check that out.
You get to shop together.
Right.
And, if you know she's already into certain things, then you can surprise her. But what better than to have her anticipating the package arriving
that you
of
picked
what
out
you've
together.
ordered, you picked out together at AdamandEve.com, and you just can't wait for that package to arrive, that gift of spice.
Right. There it is, that adventurous, inspirational gift.
So what's the special deal?
They've got an offer. They've got a great offer. You go to AdamandEve.com, limited time, you're going to get 50% off.
50% off?
50% off.
You know what that says to me?
That says screaming deal.
No, that says I can buy two.
There you go. 50% off, I can buy two. But that's not all, because when you select your item at 50% off, you also receive 3 adult DVDs.
Yeah.
Plus, I love this part, a free gift, so sensual.
So sensual.
I can't mention it on the radio.
We can't mention it on the radio?
What would that even be like? I can't even imagine. It makes me want to go order. Look, you guys out there. Now, wait a minute. You guys out there that are going to AdamandEve.com, getting your 50% off, getting your 3 DVDs, you need to call or email or whatever.
They won't even tell us what it is.
And tell me, because I want to know what it is that I'm saying is so sensual. I can't even mention it on the radio. I want to know. You need to hook me up and tell me.
We've got to find. We need some of the beta. I mean, now, technically speaking, because this is HT radio, because this is online and downloaded, I wonder if we could say it on the radio.
We probably could. I don't know. But you guys need to tell me what this mystery, amazing, sensual gift is that I can't even mention. Okay.
Right.
So
well, they won't even tell us what it is that we can't even mention.
Right. I don't see it here. So anyway, and on top of all that, the shipping is free.
The shipping is free.
It's free shipping, and we're not teasing about that. We're just telling you straight up all of this. So, AdamandEve.com.
AdamandEve.com.
Special offer. This is the bullet point. 50% off when you type in the special word. Now, we do know what the special word is.
I know the special word.
I'm so special. It's all about me.
Absolutely.
And it's
TAN.
It's a J.
A.
TAN.
J.
JA is what you need to put in the offer coupon and the checkout. So when you do, you get the 3 DVDs, a free extra gift, free shipping, and you're 50% off all the toys you're going to buy.
And you know what? If you want to show Adam and Eve how much you love us, and you're going to make some special purchases this holiday season, or now that it's the new year, you say, of all the gifts that I received this Christmas holiday,
New Year's
I
birthday.
didn't get this.
That's right. And Valentine's Day is coming up, too. You can never shop too early for Valentine's Day.
This is pre-Valentine's Day.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, adamandeve.com, enter the code TANJA. You're getting 50% off, free shipping, 3 adult DVDs, and that gift that's so tantalizing to me. And I don't know what it is.
Right.
We're back. So please call in.
I was at a party
and we will be back in just
this
a
weekend.
few moments.
It was a celebration, sort of a rite of passage. One of my clients had about 17 girlfriends, lady friends over. This is a female client, had a lot of female friends over to celebrate as they're getting to the end of the year, the rite of passage, the things that they've accomplished during the year. And they included me as a massage therapist to be there and give everyone a half-hour massage.
Amen.
Each.
Turned loose with 18 women.
Now, just to clarify, everybody kept their clothing on. These were half-hour massages that they would come in, lay down on the table with their clothing on. I would ask them what areas are on. Anyway, it was such a gift to be able to be there. But as you know, women, when they're hanging out together and it's just women, they get edgy. Not necessarily edgy, but they get more candid.
Yes, candid.
And there were times where I was in the kitchen grabbing a glass of water or getting some food because that's 17 people. I mean, I worked 7 hours straight, so they wanted to make sure I was fed and watered. And
always keep your man fed and watered when you're going to use him like that.
And so there were moments I was in the kitchen where, of course, that's the moment something really interesting gets said. And then someone who's standing next to me says, ladies, remember. And then someone would be like, oh, we don't care if he's here. Are you okay, Josh? I'm like, oh, I am okay.
I'm really
okay.
Oh,
you sure you're doing okay? I'm like, trust me, I am so okay. And I actually heard one of the women say, wow, a man who can handle it.
Say, ejaculation mastery.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on.
Yeah.
And that's why I can handle this.
So, it's just one of those things where I was in such stride. I wasn't stressed out. I was confident and happy just to be part of the event. And they all noticed.
There you go. That's what happens when you have that kind of confidence. Okay, so we were talking about modern Tantra. What is it? It is a super rocking way to transform your entire life. So that when people ask you, so when people ask you how you're doing, you'll do what I do, and you'll say, I'm amazing. Because I am. And, some people are offended by that. They're like, well, what makes you think you're amazing? Hey, people, I've put a lot of work into being amazing.
Right.
You have to understand here that, though we all come out of the womb amazing, life happens to us. And our programming and everything that happens in between doesn't leave a lot of people feeling so amazing later on.
Say that again.
Well, we're born amazing.
Yes.
And then life happens.
Yes.
Our parents, society, things happen. Physical accidents, emotional accidents, abuse, ignorance, and we slowly become less amazing.
Right. We feel less amazing from time to time.
And then pretty soon, we just are ignorant, basically. We learn all of this knowledge about math and English and history and society. What we go to school to do is to learn how to get a job. We go to school to learn how to get a job. And so most people go and get that job. And then what? Oh, yeah. Then there's the relationship. The fairy tale where you fall in love and you ride off happily into the sunset and everything's okay.
Right.
Why is there no course? Why is it that the most important thing we're going to do in our life, which is live our lives, is not taught?
Well, personally, I think there should be. I mean, we're in agreement of that. I mean, people need a license to drive a car, and I personally think there should be much more training to how to think and be to drive a car. A lot of responsibility in that. How about driving our life?
Yeah.
How about having a license to be alive? No, that may be too tall an order.
No, we can.
How about having a license to have kids, a license to have relationships? There should be courses in our societies of really how to have the best relationship.
Now, some places do teach that. There are churches and some practices that you have to take a relationship course when you want to get married.
Right.
Okay. And that's cool. And they give you part of the information.
That would be so fun to design a relationship course that people would take before getting married. Then they have to show each other their pass-fail, but like a reality show, Would you run through 2 feet of mud with this person? Let's see it.
Right. I love that idea. Maybe that'll be the Modern Tantra reality show and
Right,
we really
right.
see what people have. But yeah, wouldn't it be great if people actually did get credentialed, which, hey, they're going to do.
There are.
Yes. If you take the Modern Tantra practice to life mastery and you're on your membership site with us, on your forum, and you run into other people that are doing it as well, can you imagine? You're level 3 Tantra of Relations, and you meet somebody else at level 3?
You know, people always ask, what level are you? I'm level 3. How about you?
That's right.
I'm working on level 4.
Woohoo.
Really?
Really?
Are you allowed to date upperclassmen?
And that's it right there, right? About what's going to happen with that. But creating a society of people that are engaged in life mastery and that have a place to go to meet other people that are engaged in life mastery. We're loving that.
I love that.
That is going to be super cool.
It's not a dating site. It's a networking site where people are striving for a level of integrity and mastery and potency in living life to the fullest.
Living in full arousal, and that's just not sexual. That's full arousal, which is everything, right? I know people get thrown off. Imagine having a plan to raise your children to be enlightened, full potential humans and never having to go through that ignorance. What would it be like for your children not to have to go through the same struggles that you did? You know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. My daughter is pretty astounding.
Yes, she is.
At 6 years old, she has a lot to say, and I'm very surprised when, of course, she goes to school and talks about Team Tantra. That you imagine that I need to educate the teachers of her school so that when she's talking about Tantra in school, people are not panicked.
Right.
That she's somehow yes. See, so the people that labor under the misconception that Tantra is all sex would, of course, be completely freaked out by hearing my daughter say the word Tantra.
Right.
But,
that must be fun to, if I could be a fly on that wall.
But, of course, it's not, and only 3% of Tantra is about sex. Most of Tantra is about living life and the alchemy of life and using your energy and your body and your mind and everything else to have the outcomes you want. So, okay, the other day, I am very rarely kind of out of sync with the universe. A lot of people are actually out of sync with the universe, and they don't really know it. They're just a little bit out of the flow. So things are really tough. I mean, just getting out of the door in the morning or finding your keys. I mean, there's all of these things. You know, things never work out right.
Right.
If you're one of these people that struggles and you always feel like things aren't working out right, everything seems to be against you all the time. You drop your coffee cup, you lost your keys, you missed your bus, blah, blah, blah. You're out of sync. So I don't have those days very often anymore. And the other day, I did.
Uh-oh.
Woke up, just something didn't seem quite right, and it got worse from there. Like, okay, and then next thing I know, I'm actually yelling at my daughter. Yes, I'm going to admit that. I was yelling at my daughter. She was looking at me like, what is going on? And she goes, is this my fault, Mama? And I'm like, no, honey, this is definitely not your fault.
Good
to
know.
Yeah, and she's a really empowered child. I mean, you know, she just asks it like, you know, finds the information she needs to find. And I'm like, no, this is but I mean, you know, my car, the inside of the windshield was frozen with, you know, a 1/4 inch of ice.
I hate it when that
it's
happens.
like the whole thing. And then it was raining inside the car when it defrosted. And I mean, things were just crazy. And I was 15 or 20 minutes late for everything I was doing. And it was just like, what is going on? And I actually started down that path that most people are like, I can't believe.
Right.
I can't believe this.
Right.
What is going? I mean, it's like nothing is working out. And so I started.
You should have called me at that moment.
I know, really.
Yeah.
So I was about 10 minutes into my, you know, and I'm driving I just resurrected a car of mine, my yellow Saab convertible.
That's a beautiful convertible.
And and the car's top doesn't work, and that's why I also have the, you know, water in the windshield and this kind of stuff. And it smells like mold. And, you know, all of these things, you know, and I'm like, my car smells like mold, and my top doesn't work. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, stop.
Right.
Oh, just
take a breath.
Stop. That's exactly what I did. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Look, I'm not breathing. Because, you know, the foundation of everything is the breath work, right? So I start breathing, and I'm like, okay, how do I turn this around? Because everything that's already happened has happened. Okay? Nothing's going to change here from the past. All I have now is my next moment into the future. Oh, what do I do? Okay, gratitude. We're coming up to the beginning of a brand new year.
Mm-hmm.
And what about gratitude? So I started thinking, I looked outside and it was beautiful and sunny, crystal, just cold, 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 but sunny and beautiful. And I'm like, wow, I love the sun. I am so grateful that I am out here in the sun.
Right.
And
right.
I am so grateful that I am driving my groovy, moldy smelling car. Because guess what? It just started up and ran.
Uh-huh.
It's running great. And I love it. And it's yellow. And that's really cool. So if you see a yellow Saab convertible, you can honk if you're in Seattle. Excuse me there. And I just went to gratitude. And now I'm going to go to coughing. And so Josh is going to be talking for a second here.
I'm talking now. So as I'm hearing you talk about this, Tanya, I've been going through some similar things. And what I've been exploring and discovering is when things are going the wrong way, when I feel like I'm not in the flow, what I've discovered is, of course, breathing. Beyond that, if I don't understand why things are going on around me, then it feels like I'm headed in the wrong direction. I actually sometimes have to pay attention to that and realize I think I'm going the wrong direction and turn around. And what I mean by that, some examples. The other day, I was driving to the office, and I was running a few minutes late. I was okay with that, and I called my client to let them know that I was on my way and almost there. When the client answered the phone, she said, "I don't have an appointment today," which I could get really angry or frustrated, not at the client, but at my scheduling process, and say, "Oh, okay, you don't have an appointment today. Right, I'll call you a little bit later." So I could get really frustrated that I had raced out of the house, gotten in the car, was a half hour already on my way to work, and then realized I don't even have to be there until later today. Or what I did was I took a deep breath, and I wondered, why was I needing to get out of bed at that time of the day to come all the way out here? So I chose the latter. I chose to take a deep breath and think about, it feels like I'm headed in the wrong direction. What am I going to do? I'm going to go take care of myself. I'm going to go back home and just take some time to take care of the things that I didn't while I raced out of the house. On my way back home, I pulled up behind the car of a friend that I haven't seen in 2 years, that ironically I had been thinking about a week and a half prior. So interesting. Had I not raced out, had I not had that cancellation, I would have actually missed that connection that I thought to myself a week and a half ago, I think I'll run into that friend at some point. And sure enough, roll down the window, how you been? Got each other's contact information. And wow, what creates that? How does the universe work in that way when we have things that make it feel like we're going in the wrong direction? We breathe and we try to turn around and just realize, I don't know why things are going in the wrong way, but I'm going to work with this. I'm going to go with this.
Gratitude, and I'm back from coughing, and is that?
And I'm grateful, and yeah.
Excuse me, my microphone's on. Yes, yeah, coughing here. Yeah, that's the thing about live shows and authenticity.
Right, you get to be right there
when the guest starts or the host starts.
No, you're the host,
I'm
not
the host.
guest.
Starts hacking and has to fall off the chair and take a momentary break. And Josh was like, "Oh, okay, I'm talking now." La da da da. Anyway, yes, gratitude. Mm-hmm. It is a pretty amazing thing. So it did change things around for me as well right away when I went to that space, being happy, being in my car, really loving my life. And within 10 minutes, I got to the place I was trying to go, and it usually takes 25 minutes. Mm. And that was pretty astounding.
Were you driving particularly fast?
No. So that's a very
interesting. So just changing your attitude, just changing your disposition, can turn a street full of red lights into green lights.
That can.
It can make.
And anybody that's driven with me and anybody that's hung around me knows and has seen that. Mm-hmm. How amazing that is to be 30 minutes away from someplace,
right,
and get there in 15.
My juju works a little bit different. If I'm running late someplace and I'm like, hurry up, the lights turn red.
Yes.
But if I stop and I grab some tacos and I want a red light so I can pause to eat, I'll have green lights the whole way. So I'm either going to get to eat or I'm going to get there on time.
Well, that's some different juju for sure.
I know. I've got, my brain works in a funny way.
So I would definitely like you to consider gratitude as a serious spiritual practice. Gratitude as a practice just because it feels good when you go to that space and you stop getting all upset about everything. It's like, wow, what happens when I'm just in gratitude?
Yeah.
It's one of the foundations of Tantra of Self.
Well, and being in gratitude is focusing your mind on what has worked in your life, in your favor, what you enjoy, what you have, what you appreciate. And in a moment of the illusion of crisis, in the moment where it feels like things aren't going well. Now, I'm not talking about extreme, crisis and trauma. I'm talking about a plane got canceled or there's traffic or things like that.
Here's the problem is a lot of us don't understand what a crisis and problems are, what they really are. Mm-hmm. Your leg's blown off, you're on the street and a bomb just went off and half your leg's missing. That's a crisis, okay? You missed your plane, that's an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Things are going wrong for you, that's an inconvenience. The thing is, you're alive.
Yeah, being grateful for those basic principles and taking away the things that are less important, less critical, really, in some cultures, that is actually the connection, I almost want to say the connection to intuition, of paying closer attention to what you're grateful for gets you closer to your authentic truth.
Right. Well, it's because we especially in societies that have so much, some reason, it seems like more things can go wrong. If you have a lot of energy tied to a lot of things, it seems when one thing goes, a lot can go wrong.
Right.
But is it really going wrong? I teach my inner circle people and any students of mine that usually things that seem like problems are actually opportunities. I've had people say to me, I can't believe it. If that had happened to me, I'd be just under the table somewhere, and you're like, oh, wow, cool, I wonder what's coming next.
Absolutely.
Looking out, seeing it, wow, what can go? Like, I got hit by, you can see he's still coughing right here. I got both the flus.
Oh.
This wintertime.
Right.
I got the flu, and then I got the swine flu.
Right.
2 weeks apart.
Right.
It rocked.
Really?
Well, what a great way to find out what your body's made of.
Absolutely. And to work the abs. Talk about coughing.
Yeah. Exactly. I have abs of steel now. You don't need some fancy workout program.
Right.
You just need some serious coughing.
Good coughing or, a good 12-hour flu.
Right. That'll really work it for you. So there's a lot of ways to look at this. I looked at it as like, okay, great. My body is kicking butt on these flus. Really wasn't that bad because I didn't spend all my time concentrating on how bad it was. And that's what we tend to do is concentrate on the things going wrong. Right. You understand that every moment is a new one. That what just happened is done. Right. And now you have the new moment to create something new. Right? So I want you to listen up here at the end of this year. You might be one of those people that is experiencing some of this economic issue. You might be somebody that is in a seemingly horrible relationship. You might be somebody that hates your job. You might be somebody with a terminal illness or some other huge thing. But understand that it's all pretty much the same. What it is your perspective. All of these things that are happening are perspective. Yes, they're really happening, and you're saying to me, you don't understand, I'm here at home eating beans and weenies because I can't afford anything else. I want you to tell you that you have the same opportunity that people right now that are making $1 million a month are making. It's about your perspective. It's about where you focus. If you are focusing on all the things that are going wrong, all the things that aren't going right, your energy is going towards all those things. So right now, New Year's Eve, or whenever you're listening to this, I want you to take stock in all the things that are going right. And if you are alive, you have amazing things already going for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have what you need to make the next moment even better than the last one. And it all starts with yourself. It all starts with your perspective, right? What do we do with that? How can you make the next moment be joyous or something you want it to be? You can focus on the good. Focus on the positive. Focus on the amazing things that you are going to accomplish in this next year. You know what are you going to accomplish in this next year, Joshua?
What am I going to accomplish in this next year? Wow. That's a whole discussion. I mean,
really?
Absolutely.
Just give me a few things.
A few things. Well, a few things that I'm looking to accomplish this year.
That you're going to accomplish.
That I'm going to accomplish this year. Thank you for that clarification. I'm going to accomplish shifting my income base. That, I'm looking to earn an income, but not just because I'm working, because I'm doing something I'm passionate about, teaching, connecting with people, and bringing, I want to say a product, but bringing myself, the gift that I was, born, if you will, to bring, what inspires me to share and what enhances people's lives so much when they receive it. That's, I feel like in order to be alive, that's what I need to do.
Okay, and if you follow that, everything you want will happen from that.
Absolutely.
Because that's about following your passion.
Yeah, I mean, my vow of celibacy that our listeners know that I'm engaged in. My goal and desire is to really discover my potential. Do I want to have a relationship? Absolutely. Do I want to experience intimacy? Absolutely. And what I am going to create is only having relationships with people that are ideal, with experiences that will really expand and fulfill me and that person. I want business relationships, So this year has been a year of powerful transformation, and this year in front of me is where I'm walking into each one of these things that I've said, this is what I desire. And my desire is in balance and well-focused.
So personal alignment.
Personal alignment, yeah.
That's a big thing to do, and that's a great thing to do.
Personal alignment, and then putting letters to what those things are.
Yep. Specifics help and are definitely for everybody. Whether in communication, whatever you're communicating, specifics always need to be included in that. Because generalizations can be very open to interpretation.
Right.
I am, this year, of course, launching our brand new program, Fully Engaged. I am also very excited to be even more fully engaged in my relationship with my incredible man. I am just pleased as all get out to let all you guys know that when you're in alignment and your relationship is in alignment, amazing things happen. Like, how weird is it or perfect is it that the man I'm with happens to also be the very piece of the puzzle that my business needed. His gift was the thing that's launching the rest of what I needed. So see,
interesting.
That is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That not only did the intimate and personal everything line up, but he is a tech wizard. And by the way, he is available for hire in the tech world. He is a tech wizard, and there is nothing that he cannot do in the world of computers and technology and websites and design and programming. So, if that's something that interests you, drop me an email. But I think that, I'm going to work to be more in personal alignment with everything that I do and in integrity. And the integrity is really where it's at. So I want you guys to contemplate what you are going to do this year, how you're further going to launch yourself, and get ready for our contest that we're going to have that will be giving away some amazing, amazing things, like maybe even an inner circle program.
What?
Right.
giving away an inner circle program.
$24,000 a year of education. Yeah.
Wow. That's...
Stay tuned.
Wow.
All right. We will catch you next time. Have a happy new year. And we look forward to bringing you more.